Tom Rand is a venture capitalist and currently the lead clean tech advisor at the Mars Institute in Toronto. Now, as most of you probably know, Mars acts in support of commercialization of Canadian research and development. In 2005, Tom founded VCI Green Funds, a private venture fund to provide angel and venture cap to companies developing emission reductions technology. And he's taken a hands-on leadership in clean tech companies from geothermal to wind to green buildings. He also is one of the co-developers of the Planet Traveler, one of the greenest hotels in the world, located right here in Toronto. And this is his new book, Kick the Fossil Fuel Habit, 10 Clean Technologies to Save Our World. With that in mind, let's welcome Tom.
Thanks, Evan. Well, I think I'll start. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's quite easy to go on Google and find a list of eminent scientists with a lot of credentials who argue quite vociferously that cigarettes don't cause cancer. They do that in court. They've done that for years. It doesn't make it true. It's funny to know. It's funny to argue. I mean, I'm not sure that climate change is a theory. I think the idea now that empirically it seems to be a fact. I mean, by definition, average global temperatures are rising and average global ocean temperatures are rising. That makes it true. So, and I'm not sure what, you know, there's drought in Australia, there's the pine beetle in BC, there's roads that don't freeze anymore going north, there's a Northwest Passage that's open, never happened before. So I guess my question to a skeptic, before I get on to my main points, would simply be, what would it take for you to believe? I mean, would it be a postcard from God? Or, I mean, I don't know what it would be. And by the time you were convinced, it's too late, because the prairies would be a desert, and we'd have a really hard time getting together and having a good time. So I think we should be a little proactive and maybe use the precautionary principle. But in any case, clean tech superpower to me doesn't really involve battleships and the sharp end of a spear. It might mean, for example, clean energy superpower might be simple enough that a country produces enough clean, green, renewable energy that they can do without fossil fuels entirely, and they can actually export that energy, and they don't need to control any choke points. That's a really super kind of power to have, so that seems to be a good definition of a clean energy superpower. Is Canada one? Certainly not. Could we be? Certainly. How might we get there from here? Well, where are we now? Federally, we're asleep. The claim from the federal government is that they'll match the US, and that's yet to be seen. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But they're certainly not doing it now. The US is currently outspending us per capita 10 to 1 on clean energy investments. That's 100 to 1 in absolute terms. We've decimated the Eco Energy Program. SDTC, the Sustainable Development Technology Canada Fund, a very useful financing tool to get rid of some of the technology risk that Don was talking about, is not being given positive signals about being refinanced. So I think federally, we're asleep. Our Prime Minister has explicitly, connected melting tar with energy security, which is odd. I mean, if you're melting tar and sticking giant tubes on the bottom of the ocean that's 2 miles down, it seems to me you're at the bottom of the barrel. There may be other places to explore, but prima facie, you may want to hedge your bets and try using another kind of energy. But our Prime Minister wants to melt tar. So the overall strategy federally seems to be just let it ride. It's an extreme form of laissez-faire. And personally, I find that embarrassing. I mean, when your European friends come to visit Toronto, it's like when they hit the airport and they say, how do I get downtown? And you say, we got to take a cab or a bus. It's kind of embarrassing. So you're a first world country, you're a developed city, Toronto the good, where's your train? And you're embarrassed. And similarly, I'm embarrassed when I see our federal government on the international stage being a hindrance to any real talk about climate change or dealing with the substance of the issue. But professionally, and I think that's more relevant, I find it very short-sighted. And I find it short-sighted because decarboning our economy it's coming, and we either do it on our terms or nature dictates the terms. It will be the single largest infrastructure build in human history, and countries will either be selling clean technology or buying clean technology. And from a purely economic perspective, I think we want to skate to where the puck's going to go and be capable of selling that technology to other countries. So I think it's very short-sighted to ignore this. And the more capital that flows into the tar sands, I mean, you're supposed to make tar out of oil, right? It's the crappy stuff that you can't make into gasoline, you make into tar. But we're melting tar for oil. The more money that flows into that infrastructure, the more capital that's there, the more we're invested, the harder it is to turn around, because the vested interests have a lot at stake. There's a lot of jobs at stake. I mean, it's to the extent now that it's a national unity issue. You start talking about national energy programs and boy, the hackles get up, not just because of historical nomenclature, but because there is a lot of money and a lot of vested interest in the tar sands. And the more we put there, the harder it is to turn around. But what should we do? So I have some sort of positive suggestions. So I think we should intercede in the marketplace. The free market will not get us there. We should intercede in the marketplace very strongly, and we should do it intelligently, obviously. And I have some suggestions.